Welcome back to Pastor's Coffee, guys. This is episode 12. Stiff, how are we, buddy?
Doing good. I am a little tired this week. Well, we are doing this in the morning, so we're both probably a little tired. We're not much of a morning people, but
A little different than normal. Yeah.
yeah. So, but it's going good. Been a little scared with Liam this week with everything, with him being sick and everything, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But he's doing better now, and so, yeah. How about you?
Been an okay week. Yeah, just with all of the holidays and everything, and got a little bit more time off than normal. I was still in the office, but worked a little bit less than a normal week. So this week was a little bit different, trying to get back in the swing of things and everything. But yeah, it's been good. It's been good. I have to preach this Sunday, so a little bit extra preparation than normal. But yeah.
Yeah, this week was weird. Because I had all of last week off.
Right.
And so going back into the office, dragging a little bit. By a little bit,
Yeah.
I mean a lot of bit. So
It's tough to get back.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it is. But I'm glad to be back. I feel like I haven't seen the youth in like years. So,
Yeah. Cool.
So this Sunday will be the first back time back. So it should be good.
Yeah.
So we have a question today. What is something new or different we are wanting to do for the year for ourselves personally, or the youth group or the
Okay.
church?
You go
Anything?
ahead and you go ahead and start.
Okay. This year for myself, I actually have never read through the Bible all through.
Straight through. Yeah.
Usually get to Genesis and Exodus and call it day, and then so I'm gonna try this year. We'll see how it goes. That kind of leads into our next question, but um, after this, but that's something me personally I'm gonna try to do.
Yeah.
And so, but for the youth group, I'm trying to be a little more organized this year. Last year, kind of throwing things together, um, lessons or um, just preparation, and then maybe like events and everything. I'm trying to get everything down before we leave,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm just trying to, and I'm trying to get like, I make connect cards and, trying to get to know youth more. And when we have new kids, then we can give that to them and we can get to know them a little
It's a
better.
great idea. Yeah.
And then I'm trying to, with my lessons, I'm trying to always have something that they can write on and take back with them, um, for every single one. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, how about you?
That's cool. I really like that. As far as new for the year, I'm kind of preaching on this Sunday, so it's been kind of fresh on my mind, and I'm trying to be um, like focused on it. But this year, I just want to be more intentional with sharing my faith because we we always just say we need to share the gospel, preach the gospel, and if there's no like goal, if there's no like parameter set, then it's just words. There's never going to be any
Mm-hmm.
action to it. There's no intent. So this year I've wrote um, two names down. Um, just in my notes app on my phone, and I'm making a commitment to share the gospel with them intentionally, like not just in conversation, not just if it comes up, but actually introduce it. And I'm trying to be tougher on myself about that, just because, like, if it comes up in a conversation, I'll never shy away from it, but I'm not exactly initiating the conversation
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times. So if it comes up, I'll never shy away from it, but that's something for me that I haven't been very good at these last couple of years, is actually being intentional about it. I'm sharing it. Obviously, we do messages. I do 3 messages a week every week. But it's people inside the church. I'm getting paid to do it. It's my job. So, but what about my faith outside? Actually trying to share it. So that's kind of a new thing for me, even though it shouldn't have been new. But
Yeah.
I'm trying to be more intentional about it. But as far as the youth, so I've seen some different people do variations of this, but I'm kind of trying to put some different ones that I've seen together, and I'm still not done with it, but I kind of have a idea to at least introduce it this Sunday night. So Sunday nights are kind of our main program, 6 to 8, obviously. So we have a little bit more time, and I still don't even have a name for it. So if people are watching this, if you have a name, I'd love to hear suggestions. But it's just kind of like a youth games thing where this Sunday I'm going to split everybody up into teams. And I don't know if I'm going to do it randomly or if they're going to pick, but I'm going to split them all up and they can call their team whatever they want. I want them even. But throughout this entire year, that's your team. So we'll break off after lessons if we have a memory verse that week. If you go back in your team and try and study it together, you can do it in front of me and you get a certain amount of points for how many people in your team memorize it and get it back to me. If we do it in the gym games, you're in those teams for that, and whoever wins that gets X amount of points. And we'll have like different milestones. So like maybe each month is a certain prize for this team, and we just do it throughout the year. But I'm still kind of like working on like rules and stuff for it. I'm not fully done. This week I've been more focused on the sermon.
Yeah.
But so I haven't had as much time to kind of prep for that. And we're actually I'm changing the name of the youth group. Since I've been there, it's been Ignite. That's kind of been the name, and a lot of churches use that. But I just kind of wanted to change the philosophy and have a verse to it, and just kind of a new start. And I think it'd make a cool logo. So, but I'm gonna call it Rise Youth Group, and do Isaiah 40:31. So yeah, I'm excited. But
that'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot that I was doing something else new. We're doing because something with our youth we see like they can be interacting with us in our like in my lessons and everything, and then when it comes to like Sunday morning services that they can be a little scattered. And so I've been we got them sermon notebooks, and so hopefully that helps out. But we wanted to do some type of competition with it, and I'm not sure exactly what that's going to look like yet. And so, so we're introducing that along with memory verses and everything. So kind of the same thing. Maybe yours is a little more fun than mine, but with the games and everything. So I might have to introduce that a little bit too. But
yeah, it's cool, man.
But yeah. So another question that we had, and you can go back on that other one if you need to, but do we find it hard to do our own personal devotions when we're in a job that does require us to read the Bible, study it, prepare a message on it? Do we find it hard to do our personal devotions with all of that? Because, we already feel like we've read the Bible enough today. So, but for me, I mean, it's harder, and I think finding to do it first in the morning before we even get there, or at the office before we even start doing anything else, is probably the easiest time to do it. Because then once, at least for me, I know if I'm doing all my stuff throughout the day, and then I'm about to leave the office or I come home, I definitely don't feel like doing my own personal devotion after that. So that's how I am. I need to do it in the morning is my philosophy for myself.
Yeah.
So how about you?
Well, I'll definitely I'll say that lesson preparation is a lot different than personal study.
Mm-hmm.
It's so and you touched it, but there's a huge difference between reading and trying to give a lesson versus reading to try and grow. And if you're really good at it, you can do both. But it's tough to kind of balance that. I am the last couple of years I've done kind of the Bible in the year plan, kind of what you're talking about. And there's some days where I got inconsistent with it. I will say it's a lot easier for me now having the jobs that we do
Yeah.
to actually get in there versus a busy basketball schedule or all the classes that we had or another job that everybody's always running and you're so busy. It's a lot easier when I first get in there. Every once in a while, I will do it before I go to work, but normally my devotional time is as soon as I get in the office, shut the door and read, and then I open it back up, and then I start preparation and doing all the other things I need to do. But I usually try and set that first 30 minutes as just personal study, just that devotional time, and I have my prayer time at that point. But with the Bible in a year plan, I found it a lot easier for me because the way they set it up, and I just do it on like the YouVersion Bible app, and then use my actual Bible. But or sometimes I'll just read it on the phone. But I will. They usually split up to 4 chapters. Sometimes it's only 3, depending on how long it is. But I'll do usually 2 in the morning and then 2 in the evening. That's usually what I do, just to try and because when I'm cramming like a lot of reading into the morning, I'll get kind of sluggish by that third or fourth chapter, and I won't really retain it as well as if I break it up 2 here and then 2 right before I go to bed. But it is tough because um, I mean you get busy, especially. I mean, right now I'm coaching. You have basketball games in the evening. You get home, you're super tired. You've been in the office all day, and then you have practice up until the evening, or you're staying after school and then have a game. Um, and what day is it? The fourth? What I don't even know what day it is.
The fifth, I think.
The fifth, and I've already missed a night
Yeah.
where I didn't read. So it's so I have to catch up on that. But that's it. I would say it's a lot easier for me having a job where I know I'm supposed to open the Bible every day. You
Yeah.
know, but there has been some days for sure that it's more of just just reading it to prepare for Sunday or Wednesday, and it's
Yeah.
really tough. There's not anything wrong with that necessarily because it's your job and you have to do it, but it's you definitely need to find time to where you're being poured into as well. And I
Mhm.
feel that way for pastors, who are only preaching without like at least for us, we get to sit in on a Sunday morning. We're at least getting a little bit. We're getting fed a little bit, but I feel for pastors who preach Sunday morning, preach Sunday night, preach Wednesday night, and they don't have, and maybe even have a Bible study during the week. I feel for them who never have that opportunity to sit under somebody and listen,
Mhm.
because you have to get fed as well. You can't be feeding,
Yeah.
and not getting anything back. You need to be filled as well. So yeah, it's a good question, very good question.
Yeah. And then, going off of that, how do you then, um, how do you get fed? I mean, so we do only listen usually to one a week Sunday morning. That's the
Yeah,
only time that and sometimes you're preaching it. So, this week you're not really getting anything for
right.
yourself.
Yeah,
And so, how do you? Yeah, I think we've talked about this by ourselves, but
yeah.
um, how do you feed yourself? That's a weird way to say it, but
I get what you're
you
saying. Yeah,
know.
yep. Um, I listen to a lot of sermons. I try and listen to a sermon a week, and I'll switch it up a lot of times, and a lot of times it'll be on what I'm teaching or preaching that week, just to hear a different perspective. Now, you got to be careful with that because if you listen to that first before doing any study, it'll already take in that's your message,
Yeah.
and you're just going to take somebody else's. And I've kind of done that before in a way. I'll still use my own words, but definitely that influenced
Oh yeah.
my direction. So I try to whatever I'm studying, I usually try and give myself an outline. I won't do a full manuscript yet, and for my youth lessons, I don't do a full manuscript anyway, just my sermons. But I will try and get myself an outline, get myself an illustration, and everything, and then after I listen to somebody get a different perspective, and there's a bunch of different guys that I listen to, um, but I will just kind of tweak it. And if they had an idea that I liked or made me think of something else, then I'll add it and give them credit or whatever. Um, but yeah, I make a commitment to listen to at least one sermon a week, and I usually make it to what I'm teaching on. But every once in a while, I'll just have a fun question. Like I've been researching. Um, and just looking at, we've talked about this, but like just different beliefs of doctrines that we thought were final. Like this is what we've always believed, so it's true. And then you look at different perspectives and see
Yeah.
things that you never thought of. And I won't get into all that today, but it's just interesting to think on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure. I will sometimes listen to a sermon about what I'm teaching on, and I usually find those are the ones that I grow myself,
yeah,
like in the lesson. So that those are the lessons that like it's really maybe for me and not even for the youth.
yep,
And I just get to teach it. Um, and so that's something another thing I would like to get better on um, is feeding myself. Even though I have always at least heard one message a week
yeah,
from our church, it's still good to get more because I
absolutely,
mean,
yeah,
if you're not working as a pastor, you get 3 messages usually a week. So, and like a prayer meeting or anything. And with
sure,
with me, in the youth group, I don't get to go to those prayer meetings or anything like that. So it's harder to stay connected to the church
yeah,
through prayer. The core one who come out to Wednesday night and pray for the church, pray for the need.
yeah.
But yeah, a lot of things we could always do better. So
Oh,
that's
absolutely, yeah,
we're
absolutely.
humans, and just because we're pastors, we're not any better than anybody. So
No,
um,
no,
so yeah. Anything else to add to that?
no, I don't think so. I just, yeah, this is the perfect time to. It's frustrating to me every year when we get to this time. We're like, oh, we're going to change this. And we get to the end of
Yeah,
the year and we're saying similar stuff. So I don't know, kind of give myself a gut check and just encourage anybody else. Like when you're making these goals and commitments for the year, be intentional enough about it to recognize what's realistic and what's not, and
yeah,
and um and trust God with the rest. But just if it's really something that you're passionate about and what you believe in, we got to be intentional enough to be hard on ourselves, to keep ourselves in check and keep ourselves accountable. So
for sure.
I've been trying to be more and more real with myself and keep myself in check, because I always do. Every single year I set these goals for myself and try and grow in these areas, and then about a month in it's fading. And
Sure.
yeah, so but
Yeah,
I think other people struggle with that, but still just trying to be a little bit
yeah,
harder on myself about it.
a couple people.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, moving on. We are at the last week of regular season football.
Oh man.
It's a sad week, but we are on to playoff football after this. Um, and so, um, the scores aren't looking very good. I did leave the cards at the church, but I do remember what the records were for that week, not our overall.
Okay.
Um, so week 16, I think it was. You went 12-4, and I went 7-9. Um, and
12-4. Ooh.
so obviously, that is not good for me, but it is great for you.
It is great for me. I'm very
So,
pleased to hear that.
and then this last week, I was hoping to maybe flip that, get some records back, but you killed it again. You went 12-4, and I also went 12-4. So we're just tied again. I don't know
There
what
we
the
go.
overall score is. I know
Yeah,
you're up by like 11 games, I think.
man.
So this is a crucial week for me.
Yeah.
There will be a playoff where we are going to do playoffs, and we're going to do some type of point system, mainly because I'm losing now, and we need to do one. But we'll see how it goes. And we still have our MVP picks,
I
which
know. Yeah.
who did you pick again?
I thought I switched it to Lamar, did I not?
You
We'll
may
have to
have
go back on that. I thought I did.
either Lamar or Jalen Hurts, one of the two.
I may have. I don't know.
Because it was Justin Fields. I'm on TJ Watt, so we're not looking too good for that. I also said the Steelers were in the Super Bowl, so
I'm almost positive I did, but we'll have to check the episode again. I don't know.
yeah. But anyway, so let's go ahead and start with these predictions. Last time for this year, and then we'll have nothing to talk about. So we need something new to talk about.
Send questions. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so we'll go ahead and start. My favorite game of the week. Also, I bet against the Steelers. I predicted that the Steelers would lose, and they won that week. So that was the Bengals week.
Man.
So I could have got one there on you, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Steelers at Ravens.
Oh, Ravens for sure. Yeah.
Ravens. Yeah. Even without.
Is Lamar not playing? Is he sitting out? I'll switch it then. Yeah, I'll take the Steelers. Must win for the Steelers.
Must win. Steelers have a hard road to the playoffs.
Yeah, it's got to be a win.
So, yeah. It's got to be a win and then Buffalo lose or the Jags lose.
I can see that happening though.
Yeah, one of those two.
The Bills, yeah, we want to see them in the playoffs, man. That'd be awful if they don't get in.
Over us too.
Yeah, yeah.
Texans at Colts.
It's so tough predicting these because I don't know because I know the Chiefs, Pat Mahomes is sitting out. A lot of the quarterbacks are sitting out. Texans, Colts. I'm gonna go Colts. Just because it's home, and they've been pretty solid this year.
I'm gonna go Texans. This is pretty much for a playoff spot.
Yeah.
Right here. So yeah, big game. Jaguars at Titans.
I'm just gonna do it for you. I think it'd be great. Let's do the Titans.
Okay. I am, for this sake, I'm going to pick the Jags. But I do hope the Titans win.
Yeah.
So, Vikings at Lions.
I'm going to take the Lions.
Yeah, not much of a...
Even though they've got it clinched. The Vikings don't even have a shot now, do they? Yeah, I don't think.
I think a very far shot.
Yeah.
But that's about it. Falcons at Saints. Big game for the Saints.
I'll go Saints. Yeah, they got to win this one. Just don't really trust the Falcons.
No, Saints will most likely win it. I do want to see the Buccaneers in the playoffs though.
Yeah.
But they should, if you see who they're playing. The Jets at Patriots, pretty much a useless game, but they're playing it, so.
I'm going to take the Jets.
I'm going to take the Patriots.
With some momentum.
I'm going to take the Patriots. Maybe that'll get me a game or two here.
Yeah.
So, back on the Buccaneers. Buccaneers are playing the Panthers at home.
Yeah, I would take the Buccaneers. They got to win. Yeah.
Can't really bet against anybody who's playing the Panthers.
No.
So,
and they don't even get their pick. It's rough.
Yeah. Browns at Bengals.
I'm going to take the Browns. Joe Flacco looks like the best quarterback in the league right now.
Yeah. He is not playing this week.
Is he? Are we sitting him?
They're sitting him. Yep.
I haven't even looked.
I still don't think the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm still going to take the Browns.
Yeah. I'm going to also take the Browns. Actually, I'm going to take the Bengals. Maybe get that game on you.
You guys start going first.
Okay. There's the Packers. I'll go first on this one.
I'll take the Packers.
Packers.
I've been messing up on them. Jordan Love just kicked me out of the championship game last week. So, yeah, I'm still upset about that.
I'm going to take the Bears.
Are you really?
I am. I think even though they are out, and totally I am opposing you on this one, but they could do it. just to kick the Packers out, But we'll see. It is at the Packers, so who knows?
Yeah.
Cowboys at Commanders.
Cowboys.
I think they need to win this for number one.
To clinch it. Yeah, to clinch it.
I'm also taking the Cowboys. Broncos at Raiders.
I'm gonna take Broncos.
Yeah, I think Broncos need to win this as well.
Yeah.
To even have a chance. So I'm also taking the Broncos. Eagles at Giants.
Eagles. They've got to win this one. They've got to.
I mean, the Eagles really are on the downfall.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I mean, they went to the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
And so, Seahawks at Cardinals.
Seahawks. Even though the Cardinals had a big win last week, I'm gonna take the Seahawks.
I've been on the Cardinals all year. This is it. They're beating the Eagles and the Seahawks back to back.
That'd be big.
Yeah. Rams at 49ers.
49ers.
Yeah. I think they clinched the first seed.
Yeah, so I mean it's not a must win, but I still think they'll do it.
Yeah. I think the Rams need to win though.
To get in, yes. Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Rams. Well, I'm just opposing you all week.
So. Oh, I know. Yeah.
But the Rams do need to win this game, and I think I don't know if the 49ers are sitting their players.
I haven't heard. Yeah, I don't know.
So
it's tough to predict.
Probably at least Brock Purdy, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
But Chiefs at Chargers.
The Chargers really have no incentive to.
Yeah. You know what? Here, hold on. I'm gonna pick first. I'm gonna take the Chargers.
I think I'm leaning that way too with Mahomes out and they've already clinched.
I'm gonna go Chargers.
I am, yeah.
And then I will pick. Now this next game is Bills and Dolphins. This is probably the best game of the week.
Yeah, and I'm gonna take because the Dolphins are in, right?
No, if the Dolphins lose, they're out.
Are you serious?
I don't know how it works. I don't know how we're over the Dolphins, but we're over the Dolphins somehow.
Then I'm going to take the Dolphins.
The Dolphins. Yeah, I think either team is win or they're out, which I don't understand. Exactly.
I don't either.
But I could be wrong about that.
Yeah.
Maybe the Dolphins are still in. But I think if the Bills lose, they're out.
Yeah, that sounds right. But if it's a make or break game for both teams, I'm going to take the Dolphins.
But if the Dolphins do lose, they lose the division, and they're in the wild card. And
so they're in regardless.
I think so. They may be.
I thought so too.
They're 11-5. That's right.
They'll get in.
They're in
they'll
either way.
Yeah,
I'm going to lose the home field advantage.
Well, I'm going to take the Bills then. I'll take the Bills.
You're going to take the Bills then?
I am. Yeah.
Okay. I'm also taking. I think the Bills. I think the Bills do it, which I don't like.
Yeah. I think the Jaguars losing, you have a better shot.
Either one. I don't care what it is. I don't want to play the Bills at home as a Steelers fan, but yeah, we'll see. Any thoughts about football at all? Fantasy's over, so we're.
Yeah, I don't really have many thoughts now that fantasy's over. Just sadness, but.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, I always love watching playoff football though, so I'm looking forward to just watching it. But yeah, I'd like to see my Browns make a run. This Flacco story is pretty awesome. So
if the Steelers aren't in it, I am rooting for the Browns.
Let's go. Yeah. Well,
simply for the Joe Flacco story.
The only thing is, if Flacco wins this, Brady's coming back next year. He's signing with the Panthers, and Cam Newton's probably back next year.
Yeah.
RG3, my guy's coming back. So that'd be awesome.
Okay, so give me your thoughts on this real quick.
Hmm.
How are teams not signing Cam Newton or RG3 when they have Nick Doyle on the Jets,
Think about
who
the Bengals.
arguably they can definitely play football better than he can.
Absolutely, yeah. I'd love to see RG3 get another shot. His career is just so sad to me because there's just, I mean, his rookie year he looked like a top 5 quarterback already. You know.
Yeah.
Kind
of like a C.J. Stroud type. Well, a little better than C.J. Stroud.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, he was amazing. So, but him and Luck. I mean, Luck was a little bit more successful, but goodness, he played, 6 full seasons, maybe?
Yeah.
So that whole class was so talented and sad. But, yeah, I don't know how, after seeing what Flacco's doing, how teams aren't giving guys a shot. I don't understand.
Dude, he turned 39. He's LeBron's age. And he's balling out, man.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Yeah, it's cool.
But anything quick on NBA?
Yeah, I just I think it's time for major moves for my Lakers. It is time to panic. I think you win the in-season tournament, now you lose. I think it's 8 of the last 10. Yeah, it's just you hate to, because I really get uncomfortable like saying like this person needs to be traded, this person needs to be fired, because I mean you're talking about livelihoods, and we act like it's some game, but it's their lives.
It's their career, yeah.
It is. They're having to move their families, and they may not get another job, and I understand that. But as far as what he's been brought in to do and where they're at now, the Lakers need to move on from Darvin Ham. I didn't like the hire in the first place. Being a first-year head coach on a LeBron James team, LeBron James competed against this guy, and he was a bench player. So how is he going to respect him at all? Yeah. I've never really liked that. LeBron looks like he's drawing up half of the inbounds plays on the sideline. So I think they need to move on. I think you've got one of the best coaches of our time sitting on the sideline commentating for games in Doc Rivers, and he pretty much gave his job application on air last game saying that he wanted it. So I think that's the move. I think that saves your season, and I think there's 2 moves that they can do right away. Get Zach LaVine off the Bulls for relatively inexpensive. Rui and D'Lo gets it done, I think. And then you can pivot to Atlanta to get DeJounte Murray if you don't want Zach LaVine. I think those 2 moves save the season. So I think it needs to be done. It needs to be done quick. Rui can't be traded just yet. I do love Rui, but we're not playing him. So I don't even understand why we'd hold on to him if we're not playing him. And he's still got value in the money to offset. So that's what I'd like to see.
Yeah, I agree. You guys need to do something over there. We, there's a lot of talk about Lauri Markkanen coming to the OKC, and that would be great, I think.
It'd be the longest team in the league. I mean, that'd be so much length everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it is insane. SGA might win MVP this year.
Yeah.
It's going crazy. I'm excited. We beat the Nuggets. We did lose to the Hawks. But I think we've won 10 out of the last 11 from last night.
That sounds
or
right.
Something like that. I think like 9 out of the last 11. Still crazy for the Thunder. Yeah. And we have like 4 first-round picks this year. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
If you take Bronny James, I'm going to be a Thunder fan next season. Because LeBron's going to come on
I hope so.
That'd be awesome.
We'll take Bron. Did you see anything from Wemby and Giannis last night?
Oh, it was amazing. Dude. That's the future right there. That's future of the game. That was
insane. The fact that, like, Bailey's been here the whole time. The fact that Giannis, like, plowed into Wemby, and Wemby still got the block on it. I mean, when you're 7, whatever, 7'5", whatever he is.
What I'm saying is that's with Giannis probably having 50 pounds on him, probably
Yeah,
close to 50 pounds. When
that's
Wemby
crazy.
starts putting some weight on him, what are you going to do? I mean, what are you going to do with that? Now, I just hope he actually can put weight on. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
Durant it's just not possible for him. You know, I mean, he was in the gym trying to get bigger. He's been with the best trainers in the world. His body just wouldn't let him get bigger. He's too lean.
Yeah.
But Wemby, man, if he could do the Giannis transformation, because Giannis looked like that, except Wemby's about 5 inches taller.
Yeah.
About 4
And
inches. Giannis is probably 7 foot, but
yeah,
it's amazing.
It's insane. It's insane. It's just crazy how, and this is just another thing. I was just looking on Instagram Reels the other day, and I know I'm a grandpa for looking at Instagram Reels and not TikTok, but
No, I don't even have it. Yeah.
So, but they were saying like how baseball players can play any sport, and I'm like, man, dude, basketball players,
You put them anywhere.
just the tallness of them all.
Imagine Giannis lining up as tight end.
Dude,
A 7 foot tight
guarding.
end, 240, 250.
Yeah.
Good grief.
Dude, and we see glimpses of that, like Darnell Washington on the Steelers, 6'5", 200 and whatever pounds.
He was a Division I basketball player too, wasn't he? I think.
I don't remember exactly, but I mean, he's huge.
Antonio Gates was, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of your tight ends played basketball.
And so just to see, like, you're not throwing a pass over them, and like they're going up and bossing everybody.
Basketball players are the most athletic in the world. I mean, they just are.
They are. To transition to a sport like baseball or football,
it's the easiest for a basketball player. Yeah.
It's the easiest for a basketball player to do that.
Yeah.
And I would agree with that.
Height alone, but quick twitch muscles just from the sport that you get. I mean, it translates so well.
Yeah. Baseball would probably be harder than football.
Yes.
But simply for the hand-eye coordination with the bat and everything.
Yep.
But I still think they could do it better than baseball players going to basketball.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But anyway, that was just a side thought that I had.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, thank you guys again
thanks for
watching us ramble again here at the end. But send us any comments, a question that you may have, and we thank you guys again for watching. We'll see you next week.
See you guys.